My name's Paul Couchman. I'm the branch secretary of UNISON here at Surrey County Council. I'm also the secretary of SCCTU, which is the all trade union group at SCC. I just wanted to update you all on a number of key issues that have impacted and will continue to impact us over the next few months. Particularly Unit 4, or My Surrey, the new hybrid working policy and the expectation that most of us will come into the office at least 2 days a week, the way we work, especially the increased expectations on fewer and fewer staff. I want to talk about macro and outsourced services, and equality and diversity at the council. So My Surrey. UNISON supported the staff at the front end of implementing Unit 4 to raise a collective grievance. We also joined with all the trade unions in SCCTU, and we lodged a joint dispute over how the new system was impacting hundreds of employees, with underpayments and overpayments of wages, many miscalculations, and much, much more. My Surrey caused untold stress to so many staff. It continues to struggle with many operations, including the calculation of people's pensions, and we're monitoring closely the council's work to get it functioning properly. One of the key outcomes of the SCCTU dispute was the recent apology we've received from the council. We're also meeting regularly with the service managers who are responsible for My Surrey. Unfortunately, most of the very senior people behind the implementation of Unit 4 have since moved on, and it was left to our new Chief Executive, Terence Herbert, to effectively make the apology on their behalf. Hybrid working. Moving on to the new hybrid working policy. We used to have something called the Agile Working Policy. This was a progressive, family-friendly, equality-proofed policy, which, although it was born out of the pandemic, was jointly put together and agreed with the trade unions. It was performance and outcomes driven, rather than being based on presenteeism. The previous chief executive led the charge to bring in the new hybrid working policy, including the demand for all staff to spend at least 40% of our time in an office. That's 2 days a week for a full-time equivalent worker. While we know that many of you don't have the opportunity to work flexibly, including working from home, because you have to work in the community or you're in roles which by their nature are office-based, the trade unions refused to sign up to the new policy, and it's now been implemented without agreement. If any UNISON member feels they're being forced into a working pattern or to work at locations against your will, please get in touch and we will look at whether we can support you to challenge the situation. The trade unions did manage to get the wording improved, so there can be exceptions, and a range of factors should be considered when devising team charters and imposing strict rules on employees. The way we work. UNISON's research and conversations with our members have led us to believe that many of you are working at a level well above and beyond what is expected from your contracts. Of course, some of you will choose to do this for reasons of career development, potential promotion, or just love of the job, and that's fine. But many of you told us you feel forced to work extra hours, take on extra work, and work at a level above your pay grade because of the demands of the job, and sometimes the demands of your managers. We believe this is unlikely to improve in the coming months as austerity continues to tighten its grip on local authority budgets and services continue to be cut to the bone. The recent appeal from the Chief Executive to hand in your mobile phones is just the latest measure which effectively makes workers pay for the funding crisis in local government. So UNISON are launching a campaign about the way we work. We're gathering data on working hours, workloads, lack of resources, etc. Where necessary, we will push back against the employer's demands and supporting members to challenge unfair working conditions, workplace stress, unpaid overtime. If you'd like to be part of this and help with the campaign, please do get in touch. Macro. UNISON are aware that Macro, the external provider for various outsourced services within Surrey County Council, are not performing quite as expected. UNISON are pursuing updates on Macro's efficiencies and cost benefits where applicable, and we're asking members to continue providing feedback to us on their experience of Macro. Watch this space. And lastly, but by no means least, equality, diversity and inclusion. For a few years now, the trade unions at Surrey have been challenging perceived inequality within the council. Whether this is poor physical access at many council buildings, the high number of black and minority ethnic employees who end up in disciplinary, capability or grievance processes, or the withdrawal or the robust policy to support our trans colleagues. It's the unions who have pushed hardest for equalities, with our unison activists playing a key role. And although some senior managers and directors have worked hard on the EDI agenda, the council still has a very long way to go to be truly inclusive, and for the county leadership team to come even close to reflecting the diverse nature of its workforce. Unison, alongside all the other trade unions in SCCTU, will continue to work with the council on all these issues, and we'll press them and we'll challenge them as the need arises. And we can only do this with the backing of our members. So what can you do? At the end of the day, you are the union, and more of you are realising that. Record numbers of SCC employees have joined Unison in the past few months, adding to our bargaining strength when we consult and negotiate with the council. If you're not a member of Unison, please think seriously about joining. It probably costs less than you think. Just go to join.unison.co.uk and click join. We don't just work collectively, we also advise and represent individual members on anything to do with their employment. Although you do need to have been a member for at least 4 weeks before we can formally represent you, so please don't leave it too late to join. Even more importantly, if you are a member or just about to join us, think about becoming an activist, joining our fantastic friendly team of reps and branch officers. If you don't have a Unison rep in your workplace or team, why not be that rep? We provide full training, necessary expenses, and you get paid time off to carry out your duties. Could you be the you in Unison? Please get in touch, find out more. We hold regular taster sessions for members interested in getting active. Just ask. You can email us on unison@surreycc.gov.uk. You can follow us on social media, invite us to come and speak to your team, or arrange to visit us at our office in Fairmount House in Leatherhead. Thank you for listening. And remember, you are the union.